Cincinnati's new mayor moves a bit off his hardline no streetcar campaign promise. John Cranley says he'll allow the streetcar project to be built if the private sector pays to run it. Good evening, everybody. The streetcar's biggest opponent says he's willing to meet supporters in the middle to keep the controversial project alive.
Cincinnati Mayor John Cranley, who was elected last month after an anti-streetcar campaign, has given supporters a challenge. Cranley says if they can figure out how to privately pay for the streetcar's annual operating costs, he will let the project move forward. But there are some monstrous hurdles ahead and not much time to overcome them. As Local 12's Joe Webb reports live from over the Rhine. Joe?
Well, Cammie, the biggest hurdle, of course, is time. The Federal Transit Authority has given the city of Cincinnati until next Thursday night to make a decision on whether to move forward with the construction. What's hanging in the balance here is $44 million in federal grant money for the project, and if that goes away, it's likely a deal breaker. But the mayor's move this morning does give supporters hope and a new deadline. Surrounded by representatives of the city's unions, John Cranley stepped a little closer to the middle today, saying he did not want streetcar operating costs to take away from police, fire, and street repair. He offered a challenge and something of a compromise.
I have listened. I have met with the leadership of the streetcar supporters, and I'm here to say that I'm willing to partner with them if they can guarantee the operating expenses before we incur additional costs.
Once the tracks are laid and the streetcar is running, the estimated annual cost is somewhere around $4 million. The mayor said today he'd like to see a guarantee, collateral, security, and a legally binding agreement for somewhere around an $80 million commitment to cover the overhead. It's a tall order, but his supporters call it a crack in the door.
I think we're moving the ball, and I think that's good. And what I would say is that I think there are a lot of business sector players that really want to see this project happen, whether they're willing to say that publicly or not. I do think the resources will be there. I think the question is, what's the trade-off for us?
Cranley said representatives of the Hale U.S. Bank Foundation were involved in the discussions last night. Now, the ball is in supporters' court. They have a week to get a funding package together before the Federal Transit Authority pulls its $44 million.
So I think the private sector can come together and figure out a way to fund the operating expenses so it's not a burden on the neighborhoods. We know how to do this. There's all kinds of tools, and we'll put the right group together to convince the mayor that we're serious and we can meet his challenge.
Now, Eric Avner of the Hale U.S. Bank Foundation says that the foundation proposed creating a commission. They proposed this to the mayor, creating a commission to figure out how to pay for the operating costs through a variety of different ways, perhaps sponsorships, advertising, other revenue sources. Now, the foundation would pay for that commission so it wouldn't cost the city any money, but the mayor made it pretty clear this morning he wants some sort of financial guarantee. So, once again, we wait. A new wrinkle. Cammie?
All right, Joe Webb reporting for us. Thank you. And Mayor Cranley says he plans to ask the Federal Transit Authority for more time to come up with a plan before it pulls the funds.